What's going on, guys? Chase, Ghost Picks Against the Spread, ghostpicksats.com. Check out the new shirts. I've said it a couple of times. Go to the website, get linked up with those shirts. It is Tuesday, February the 19th, 6:03 a.m. And let's get started. Up early and at it again, getting ready for another big day. Let's do a recap, go over the quick little promos that we've got with myself, Jack. Derek's got some stuff going on. And Benny's got some stuff going on as well. And we'll jump into a couple of free plays that I want to go over with you. Not necessarily leans. These are both games that I'm really intrigued with. Some interesting matchups going on today. This whole week's going to be really interesting. Monday coming off of a really shitty slate of games. Not a lot of action. Still a great day. Not a lot of, true, really intriguing action. But obviously we've got some really big intriguing matchup starting today, running through the end of the week. In NCAA, NBA, starting back in a couple of days here, and then obviously we still got NHL rolling. So the promo that we went over yesterday was the introduction of myself and Jack's duo week. So you would get a combo card, myself and Jack putting our heads together, working together this week to come up with everything that we agreed on and felt based on his system and ways of doing things, as well as mine, coming up with a combo card as well as our own personal cards. So let's jump into that real quick. Free play Virginia -5. Said it was a premium play. It was on my card, and the line kind of went down a little bit. We saw some 4.5s, even saw a couple of 5.5s at one point, but pretty much stayed around that 5 from the time that I put the video out right around 24 hours ago. Throughout the majority of the day, it was a winner. Hard fought. It was a great game, just as I thought it would be. Very good defensive matchup between both teams. A 6-point winner by Virginia and a cover. A nice premium winner and free play winner. The free plays, we've been on a tear here this past week, doing very well in the free plays. So that's good. Another premium winner there as well. And so now let's jump into the card. Let's go over the duo card with myself and Jack. Top tier play was actually Virginia -5. Now, when I released that video, Jack and I had not gone over the entire card for the day. That play was actually not set in stone and locked in until about noon yesterday. So, but for anybody that bet it, that was a top tier play on our duo card. And then the second college basketball play that we had was Eastern Washington -15, another easy winner there. And then had Vegas on the money line, -130. That line ended up dropping later in the day to -120, which is when I released my personal card, which is actually what we got it at, because I didn't release my personal card until a little after 4 p.m. when I locked in all my plays. Vegas played a terrible defensive game on the road. They are not a great road team. That's nothing to steer away from. We knew that, they were not a great road team going into it, but overall, Colorado's not a good team, period. And I really felt like the momentum coming off of the Nashville win going in, and Vegas is the overall better team than Colorado. They just cannot pick up road wins. They had a key player out, which I still felt like they were going to be able to capitalize and bag a close win. They just didn't do it. Ended up getting shut out 3-0. So been on a great profitable run in the NHL this past week. Making some huge plus money plays. Luckily, it was a low money line, but we did drop in the NHL today, 0-1. So a 2-1 day, first day of the duo with a top tier win. So anybody that was on the duo for today, or yesterday, did get a nice win and make some good money. And so we're going to extend this duo one more day. We are going to run it today as well. So obviously anybody that jumped on for Monday will get Monday through Sunday, 7 days. Obviously there will be a red alert in there. We're going to run it one more day. You can get today, Tuesday through this coming Monday with the red alert included, $249. And if you don't want to do that, obviously when the red alert is released this week, you will have the opportunity to buy that as a normal red alert price at $49.99. And like I said, to do a red alert, both of our heads together. Jack and I work really, really good together, and anytime we ever do anything, as far as plays go or teaming up on something, it's nothing short of a success. So that was the duo, day 1 in the books. Check it off as a nice winning day. Now let's go over my personal card. Obviously, Virginia was my free play and a premium play. My personal top tier that I had on my card was Eastern Washington minus the 15. Nice, easy winner there. Also had Florida A&M plus the 2. And let's see what that score actually finished out at, because I actually wasn't following that particular game as close as I was one of the others. So let's figure out what the final score of that game was. Florida A&M. Okay, so Florida A&M ended up losing by 3. They were catching 2.5, 2, depending on where you got it at. But we actually released it at 2. Some people got it 2.5, but it was a loser there. So we had UVA as a winner, Eastern Washington as a top tier winner. We did drop Florida A&M, and we had West Virginia. We had West Virginia plus 7, and this was before Wade. This was back when Wade was doubtful. When he was considered doubtful throughout the majority of the day, I released the play. And then right before game time, right about an hour before tip-off, they announced that he was going to be available. About 15 minutes before tip-off, I got word that he was officially suited up, ready to go, ready to play. And that really put a damper on things. But I talked to one of my long-term clients who's been with me for a long time, and he even said, hey, what do I do? Do I lay off? I told him, obviously it's up to you, but I was keeping my plus 7 bet because, as I told my clients, West Virginia matches up to K-State better than most people think. And, even though obviously K-State's the better team, I said it to all my clients, they are the better team. There's no defense whatsoever within the Big 12. It's non-existent. And I think that Kansas State, their defense actually gets kind of praised more than they should. And I think that West Virginia just matches up better to that team than most people will give them credit for, and even more than most of the general public even realize. And so the fact that Wade was doubtful really put West Virginia in a spot to play, spoiler alert. So I even placed a small wager on the money line at plus 265, going for a big positive unit win there. And but the fact that Wade was going to play, I knew was going to make it even that much more difficult. Him coming in as a double-digit person consistently was going to make it very difficult. But I stuck to the bet. I stood behind it. I stuck with it. I didn't remove it from my card. I didn't tell anybody to take it off. So we rolled with it. So we ended up, going 2-2 in college basketball today, but we did have the top tier winner there. So that does put us profitable for college basketball yet again. And we did drop Vegas minus 120 is what I actually had that on my personal card for, because later in the day when I actually released my personal card, the line had dropped to minus 120. So, a little bit of a loss there in the NHL, but a profitable day nonetheless in college basketball. And if you follow what I say, everybody that's asked me how I rate it, 1 dime per premium play, 3 dimes per top tier play. So for the typical unit bettor that does $100 a game, we go 100 on the premiums, 300 on the top tiers. That style of betting right there, you actually would have turned another profit yet again today. So let's jump into what we're going to do as far as free plays today. But one more day of the duo, 249 with the red alert that you will get at some point this week when we release it. Again, 2 games that we are zoned in on, and we're just trying to follow all the information to make sure that we put out the game that has the highest standard that we have between both of our systems to give the highest probability of winning and being a blowout, which is what we like on the red alerts. Derek Dimes, $2.99 a month, half price. Benny, $99 a week. Benny's killing it as always. Derek Dimes doing his thing, grinding away as always. I know Jimmy has had fantastic weekend. Hadn't got to talk to Jimmy a lot over the past few days. I know he's been crazy busy the last week, as we all have, but just from what I have seen and heard, Jimmy's been out there for almost the last week, just absolutely scorching hot, making a ton of money for him and his clients. So anyway, that's my little spiel. Let's get into a couple of free plays that I want to go over. The official free play. The free play that we're going to go with is one that we rank higher than the other. We're going to go over two games, both SEC. Tennessee, Vanderbilt. Tennessee went on the road to Vanderbilt not long ago as pretty heavy favorites and went out there and let Vanderbilt hang around for the better part of the second half and make it an interesting game. And we're a ways away from covering what was a very large spread. They won the game, obviously, but they didn't come anywhere close to covering the spread. Now here we are. Tables have turned. Tennessee's coming off of that big loss to Kentucky at Rupp Arena. Kentucky obviously moves up from number 5 to number 4. Tennessee falls back from number 1 all the way to number 5. And so now we kind of got the paradigm shift here of rivalry, obviously. In-state rivalry, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Tennessee not playing as well on the road at Vanderbilt, but now they're at home. And they're coming off of a loss that took them out of the number 1 spot, and which will essentially keep them out of that number 1 spot in what I believe for the remainder of the season. Now, in saying that, you have teams like Duke, who just took over number 1, which we knew they would in the event Tennessee lost to Kentucky. Duke's got a big game coming up Wednesday. Tomorrow night, they've got North Carolina, the biggest rivalry in college basketball. And, yeah, they're at home. I definitely give Duke a slight advantage right now without breaking anything down because of not only home court, but Zion Wilson himself, just the big man underneath that not too many teams have somebody that can hang with him. But you're talking about a game that is second to none every year. It doesn't matter how good or bad one of the other teams are. This is always a game for the ages. Who knows? Duke loses. We don't know what could happen with Tennessee in the event that Kentucky might take an unnecessary spill. Now, what Tennessee has to do is not only win out the rest of their regular season games and play tough in the tournament to get that potential top seed bid, they've got to go out there and make a statement to someone like a Vanderbilt, someone they did not make a statement with against when they went to Nashville and played. But now they're laying 18 points at home. And most people had probably already thought, wow, laying 18 points when you didn't come anywhere close to that when you played them just a few weeks back. You're coming off of a heartbreaking loss to Kentucky. You lose your number 1 spot. It's still your rival again. You're at home. You've got your students behind you, your fans behind you, the world behind you. And you are out at this point. It's more of just pissed off beyond belief to have that number 1 spot being taken from you. So I think Tennessee's out for blood here, and I think they go out there and make Vanderbilt the laughingstock tonight, and I think they do it by a 20-plus point win. Now, obviously, we know with rivalries, just like I said with Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Duke, anything's possible. Vanderbilt is nowhere close to the caliber of team that Tennessee is, and if Tennessee goes out there and plays their game, we're looking at a 25-point or better win and something that I think could be an absolute bloodbath. Now, I think that's the strongest game. Now, a line that I don't understand is Kentucky, Missouri. Kentucky's laying 11 to Missouri. Kentucky's on the road. They're coming off of the big win at Tennessee, beating the number 1 team in the country. Second half of the season, Calipari's Wildcats have probably been the most impressive thing in basketball. They started out the beginning of the year. Everybody's like, Calipari's not shit this year. His guys aren't doing anything. They're nothing. They're not going to go far in the tournament. Second half of the season, they turned the volume up, and they've gone out there and shown that they can compete and play with anybody at any time and take them down. Now, Missouri, bottom of the barrel SEC, the laughingstock of the SEC. I think the most impressive win they've had here recently was beating another bottom of the barrel team in Arkansas at home. So Kentucky's on the road. I think that this line is showing 11 and only 11 because the odds makers are trying to prepare for the letdown spot of Kentucky. The letdown spot of coming on, riding that high of beating the number one team in the country, and in a rivalry game against Tennessee, which, believe it or not, that is a rivalry in all sports involving the Southeastern Conference. I don't think so. I think Calipari's boys are ready. They're number 4 seed. They're number 4 in the country right now, so they're fighting for that top seed. They want to keep that right there, so they cannot go out there and just take a Missouri lightly. They've got to go out there, control the game, prove that they are, a top 4 team, and stay there, because then it's essentially going to come down to tournament time and what happens and who's going to get those top seeds to be able to easily skate by the first couple of rounds. And really, the past handful of years, that's been Calipari's saving grace to go as far as he has in the tournament because of how many one-and-dones he really gets. So the line I love the most is Kentucky minus 11. But the line's suspect. So let's follow this line a little bit. But that's the line that I love the most. I think in just sheer domination and sheer just out for blood, I think that Tennessee will play the best ball of any team come Tuesday night. I think that the line that makes the least bit of sense is Kentucky laying 11 when they could easily be laying, over 15. I power ranked this game. I got Kentucky laying 17 to Missouri on the road. If they were at home, we would be probably looking at 18.5 to 19. There's just some stuff that doesn't make sense. There's another 3 games that I'm looking at that I know me and Jack have already discussed 2 of them. So a lot of action that I really like on Tuesday. But let's look at those 2 games. I like both those games. But I'm going to say your official free play. And if I had to rate one higher than the other, I'm going to take Tennessee minus 18. That's going to be your official free play. And then as right now, right this very minute at 6:20 in the morning, we're going to put Kentucky minus 11 as a lean. We're going to study farther into that game. And come the time this afternoon when I release my card, Tennessee could very well be a premium play. Right now, I'm leaning that way. But as of right now, without doing any further research, Kentucky will be your lean minus 11, and your official free play will be Tennessee laying 18. So 2 free plays there for you, but the official main free play will be Tennessee, smaller free play being Kentucky, and we'll see what happens. Tennessee is on the card, and we'll see what happens with Kentucky. So guys, that's my spiel. I'm sorry for the long videos lately, but I've been getting up earlier in the morning so I can get this stuff out to you guys, and and just make sure that we go over everything. We're thorough. Got a lot of emails today regarding MLB again, the podcast. Guys, please put in the video today some content you want to see for this week. We're going to be doing some recording over the next couple of days for the 7th inning stretch, which is my MLB podcast on behalf of our company, Facts First. So make sure you throw in what you want to see. We're going to run some contests. We're going to talk spring training. We're going to still talk about Harper Machado. And I'm also going to be doing a little small gambling 101 segment for MLB, which is going to be the precursor to something that I'm going to be doing this summer involving a true training and webinar involving sports gambling and money management. So make sure you put there what you want to see this week. We'll take some of the ideas. If I do take one of your ideas, you will get a shout out. And let's go out there and ride with it, guys. Any questions, let me know. chase.ghostpicks@gmail.com. Jump on one of the promos that we got going on. Save yourself some money and jump on the winning team. We'll take Tennessee minus 18, and we're going to lean on Kentucky minus 11. Good luck. God bless. And as always, grind on, baby.